Yo, what's going on, guys? This is part 2 of the Wall Control Master Program, a program that I developed originally for the Free Running Academy online. I spent hours and hours really doing research and developing how to teach this stuff in the best way possible. So this is part 2 of 3. If you missed part 1, be sure to go check that out. Link in the description below. Part 2 is all about the cat. We're going to go over cat hang, how to do it properly, and exercises that you can do to make your cat hang stronger. The cat leap, how to properly get in and out of the movement itself. A cat 180 and a cat traverse. Let's do it.
Now let's move into our cats. The first move we're going to do is a cat hang. Now, the cat hang is a super important move that's going to allow you to do pretty much cooler things later on in your training, like devil drops and angel drops, but be a very important tool in doing a really good wall run, cat hang, and then a climb up, which we'll be covering later in this program. First thing you need to know when doing your cat hang is your hand position. When hanging on a wall, I like to have this sort of like claw hand where I'm bending directly at my knuckles and then having my palm flat against the wall. Now, some people actually like to put their hands flat on top, but I think this is kind of dangerous and actually could potentially hit your major artery, which would not be a good thing. So for the sake of that, you can go flat hands with your fingers on top, or you could even go down to your other knuckle if in fact your grip strength is really good. If you're really strong, you can hold on from there. But play with it, find out which one works best for you, and that's it. Now let's move on how to actually get into the cat hang. Get your grip, right? That's super important. You're gonna get your first foot, you could choose whatever one you want, nice and high, about hip high, knee on the outside of your body, because if your knee is on the inside, and you start to crouch down into it, you're going to end up pushing yourself out, and you don't want to do that. So get those hands on, one foot up nice and high, about hip distance. Drop that knee on the outside of your body, and now start to sink into your hang. Let those arms extend, and make sure that you're not pushing your butt out. If you're doing that, you're actually going to push yourself directly off the wall, and that's not what we want. So the closer we can get our body to this wall, the better. Get that foot up, lean in, knee on the outside, get that grip, and then slowly start to pull that other foot up. Now, some of you guys might not have the grip strength to hold this, and that's fine. This is going to be a really cool way to train your grip strength, is actually by trying this and slowly letting yourself down and up, okay? So once you're here, feet are about hip distance apart, knees on the outside, and let your butt sink all the way in. Some people, when they do this, they actually try to muscle it, and they get in here and they put their arms at that 90-degree angle and they hold it, and their feet are slipping because all their momentum is over their toes. But realistically, the closer you get to it, the more you can hang out and relax. So the next thing we're working on is called the cat traverse. Now that you know how to get into a nice, strong, comfortable cat hang, we're actually going to learn how to move across any wall in that position. It's also a great tool to help build hand strength, arms, and work your full body and get comfortable in this space. So to get started, you need to get into your cat hang. Once you're in that position, you're going to start to move across the wall. And for me, I think it's most important that you lead with that front foot, because that's going to anchor you to the wall and then start to move that hand over. Now the cool thing is, it's really going to go off of comfort for you. So you can move the hands and feet in whatever pattern or rhythm you like, but it is important to anchor yourself to the wall and that you're not reaching too far out too soon, okay? So speaking of the cat traverse, a fun exercise that you guys can use is to actually go across a wall back and forth and see if you can almost do it like laps. How many times can you hold onto the wall? How fast can you do it? It's a great tool to actually train yourself while also figuring out if you're increasing in strength and speed and ability. And now finally, we're at the cat leap. Now, a cat leap is a great move, and it's used mostly to actually jump from one object over any small or even very large distance to land safely into a cat hang onto a wall. It could also be used as a safety to save you if something goes wrong with one of your vaults. So, with that being said, let's learn this thing. First thing you need to know is your ending position is your cat hang. Now that you've gotten that down, we're already halfway done with this trick. Now, what we need to learn is how to meet the wall. But what's funny about that is we actually already learned that in our pounce. So if you guys really combined your pounce into your cat hang, you almost have a fully controlled cat leap already. So let's go a little bit more into detail. When we're traveling at a wall and your feet are approaching, just like our pounce, we're going to reach out with our feet first, absorb all of that momentum, grab those hands, and then once we're in that comfortable position where we actually know we have the wall, we can start to allow that momentum to release and allow ourselves, boom, to slip down into your cat hang. Now, the way to train this, in my opinion, is to take little steps back. Take a step back, jump on, right? Take another step back, jump on again. Now, if you noticed on those smaller ones, when I jumped a smaller distance, there's really a very small amount of time between my feet hitting and my hands, because if I have my chest way back here and I have no momentum, clearly I'm going to fall on my butt, and I don't want to do that. So know that as you back up further and you increase your momentum and speed, you're going to have a little bit more of a distance, or at least you should have more of a distance and gap between your feet hitting and absorbing all that momentum through your strong, powerful legs, small, powerful legs, and then grabbing the top of the wall. Cool, let's take a look at some bigger ones. Okay guys, the time has come. We're about to do my favorite trick to mix into lines. This is the Cat 180. It's actually one of my favorite tricks personally. I like to mix it into all of my movement. It is actually probably the most practical thing outside in movement, mixing parkour and free running abilities. It can bring you up, across, down, into another cat hang, laches. It literally can be used in so many ways. So let's get started. The first thing I need to know is pick a direction. Do I want to jump left and look over my left shoulder, or jump right and look over my right shoulder? That's going to make a difference in how your footing is. You already know how to do a cat hang and a tic tac. Now all we got to figure out is the little steps between to make that whole move happen. So let's explore the nuances of what actually makes this different from just doing a cat and a tic tac. You're going to get into your position, get one foot up, and instead of getting your other foot up, you're actually going to allow it to stay down. From here, if you're going left like I do, you're going to drop your right foot and allow it to start to pop up and try to get it as high as possible. Now, some of the most common mistakes I see is people start with their bottom foot too low. And what this does is, even if I try to pull up, that's the highest I can get my kicking or jumping foot. Now, if I start with my first foot higher, when I start to pull up and I get my chest up, my other foot can go way higher. So by changing my footing position and allowing my feet to start higher, I can gain already about 2 feet, okay? Next thing you need to know is that we need to engage this whole thing as one. Your whole body is actually going to move as one unit. So get into that position. I like to give myself a little rock down so that when I chamber this leg, and if you're hanging on something long, you can actually extend your leg all the way down so that when you start to pop up, you give yourself a lift, you start to drive this other knee as high up as you can, which allows your chest to start to rise up, and then you kick off the top. It should look like this. Here, rock, pop, step. Now, another common mistake here is that people step too high and they don't allow their chest to come up with them. If I were to do that, when I stepped, I'd just be going down. And the goal here is to control our momentum and give ourselves this little float at our apex so that we can either spot, get ready, prepare for wherever we're going next. So as you're in the position, you engage that leg, that jumping knee is starting to rise. You're using your grip and hands to throw that chest up. As you step, you want your hips to continue to rise up, and then the last step is really to drive that knee out and in the direction you want it to go. We'll go back to that ninja knee, okay? Let's do a ninja knee. So here, drop it, pop it, step, knee. Wah! Perfect. Let's see some more.
Someone to wake me up before it's too late. Up before it's too late. Up before it's too late.
Watching part 2 of 3 of the Wall Control Master Program by myself. So glad you guys have tuned in. Be sure to check out part 3. We really get into the accessing of how to run up, conquer, do wall runs, and climb ups properly and make it as easy as possible so you don't have to waste all that strength and energy doing it the wrong way. So thanks for watching. Please like, share, subscribe, and be sure to check out the link in the description below to my Instagram. I'm trying to hit 1 million followers by May, so join me on that journey, and if you can, help me out however you see fit. Peace out. Love you guys.